Hello, welcome guys. Thank you so much for joining in for practice tonight. I apologize that the webcam on my laptop is not super high quality. I'm going to look into improving that, but I can't use my phone, so this is what I have for the time being. We're going to do a 60-minute spinal practice tonight. It's going to be at an intermediate level, but I'll give you options if you need to make it easier or if you want to make it harder. You don't need any props, but if you do have blocks or something that's a similar shape or size and you want to have those handy, especially if you're newer to yoga, that definitely can't hurt. We will go ahead and get started. Make sure my volume's all the way up. All right, let's set up in child's pose to begin. And let's make this a child's pose with our knees together. So sit your hips back to your heels, walk your hands out in front of you, and rest your forehead to the mat. And let's start practice off with 10 rounds of breath. And you can inhale and exhale through your nose, or you can inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Whatever feels most natural is probably a good choice at this point. And just let yourself count out those breaths at your own pace. Try to make your inhales the same length as your exhales. Maybe play around with the idea of making each successive breath a little bit longer, a little bit fuller. From child's pose, you should already be in the right position for your forearms and your shins. Lift up into table pose on your forearms. You might need to scoot your legs back a little bit. Inhale, press down into your elbows and your palms and find cow pose through the spine. Belly button lowers, tailbone lifts, chest draws forward. And then from here, we'll tuck toes under, we'll press into palms, and we'll round the spine back and try to lift knees. Inhale, shins down, forearms down, spine hammocks towards the floor. And then exhale, toes tuck, palms press really strongly forward, chin tucks, thighs to belly, round the upper back. Let's move through this a few more times. You can add the breath if you like. You'll inhale into our cow pose variation. And then exhale back into this little floating child's pose, cat pose combo. Let's do this one more time. We're accomplishing a lot with this. We're warming up the spine, the shoulders, the feet. There's some core strength involved, a little bit of upper body strength. This next time that you're in this floating child's pose, unbend your knees, walk your hands back, and find a ragdoll fold at the back of your mat. Step your feet wide. Fold your arms like you would fold them across your chest, but then let your elbows drop towards the floor. Let the crown of your head drop towards the floor. Unwind your arms, unroll your spine, Take your time with this. Tailbone points down towards the floor. Low back stacks, mid-spine stacks. Feet step in, reach your arms overhead. And bring your hands into your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can stay on the floor or hands can come to shins. And we're going for a really long spine. Your hips will move back. And then release to a forward fold. Inhale, stand up, push the floor away, reach your arms. Exhale, draw hands in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then hands come back down towards the mat for support as your feet step wide. If mobility allows, I want you to try to bring your right fingertips under the pinky toe edge of your left foot. So I'm hooking my hand around the pinky toe edge of my leg. If that's not accessible, then left hand can just hold on to, right hand to left leg at any point. So right hand to left leg or foot. And then from here, if you can stand strong into your heels, you're going to reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then reach across towards the right foot with the left hand. Let's reach open, stand into both feet. And then reach across and try to touch your right foot. Reach up. Thread across and see if you can catch your left fingertips underneath the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Maybe you need to narrow your stance. Maybe you need to bend your knees. Maybe you need to hold up higher on the legs. All of these are valid ways to adjust the pose to make sense, both for your just actual anatomy and where you're at in the practice, where your mobility's at. Try not to let your knees collapse in towards center. Let your head relax towards the floor. Let's release the hands. Let's unroll slowly to standing. Step feet into hips with distance. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, but this time as your spine extends forward, reach your arms back with your palms down towards the floor. And then release to a forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, arms back. Collarbones broaden, triceps, upper back engages a little bit, fingers spread wide. And then release to a fold. Stand tall, reach up. Hands to heart. Reach up. And fold. Halfway lift, arms back. And fold. Stand all the way up. Hands to heart. Let's reach up. And fold. Halfway lift. And then support from the hands as the feet step wide. Left hand tucks underneath pinky toe edge of right foot or takes a hold of the outside of the right leg. Reach your right arm up. And then reach across to touch the left foot. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach across. Inhale, open. And then exhale, reach across and work to take a hold of the left foot or the left leg with the right hand. Let your head hang towards the floor. And then release your hands and walk yourself out to downward facing dog. Think about trying to wrap your armpits towards the floor. Imagine you're trying to slide your mat out from underneath you in a forward direction with the press of your hands. And then work to lengthen the hamstrings, not by dropping the heels, although that might be accessible to you, but by lifting the tailbone towards the ceiling a little bit more. Let's take 3 cycles of breath together. If you want to be moving here, that's fine. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. In through your nose. And out through your nose. Let's lower knees down to table pose. Untuck your feet. Inhale and send your right arm forward and your left leg back. And exhale, draw your knee and elbow together underneath you. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw in. From here, reach, and you'll either hold spinal balance, core engaged, back of the neck long, or if it's a pose that you like or you want to try, you can reach back for the left foot with the right hand and kick the foot into the hand, turning this into more of a back bend. From either position, if you grab the foot, just return to spinal balance. We'll set the left foot down, but keep the leg long, and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Thread through behind left forearm. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach through. Inhale, open. And exhale, reach through, and rest all the way down onto the back of your right shoulder and the right side of your head. And you can stay here, or you can tent up onto left fingertips and work to lift the left foot away from the mat if you like. If your left foot is lifted, keep it lifted. Let's plant the right hand to tuck right toes under. From wherever you're at, you'll press to down dog with an open left hip. And then bring your left knee forward towards the base of your left wrist. And just sit down into a cross-legged seat by tucking your right ankle on top of your left ankle and rolling back onto your butt. So you're sitting with your left ankle in front of your right. And we'll fold forward from here. Walk your hands over to the right in your fold. Think about drawing your chest over towards your right knee. And then walk your hands over to the left, chest towards the left knee. And then let's go ahead and sit up. Make your way to standing. If you want to work on planting your feet from your cross-legged seat and reaching forward and just standing all the way up, that's a great transition to practice. Otherwise, you can use your hands for support. You'll come to stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, and just find down dog again. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Breathe in through your nose. And out through your nose. In through your nose. And out through your nose. Let's bring knees down to the mat. Inhale, left arm forward, right leg back. And exhale, knee and elbow together underneath you. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach. And exhale, drop in. And then you'll extend right leg back behind you, toes tap down, left arm reaches open, and thread through. Inhale, open, shoulders stack, but hips stay square as best you can, and then reach through. One more time, reach up, and reach through. Rest all the way down. Option to make this more challenging by tenting onto right fingertips, and or by lifting right leg. Come back up into table. If your right leg is lifted, work to keep it lifted. Left toes tuck under. Down dog with an open hip. And then bring your right shin forward and rest it down. Tuck your left ankle on top of your right, and then sit over your ankles and fold forward. Right ankle is in front of left in your cross-legged seat. Let's walk hands over to the right. And over to the left. And come back through center. And stand all the way up with or without assistance from the hands. Let's inhale, reach arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, plant your hands. Step back to down dog. And then from here, we'll come back to that floating child's pose shape that we were in. So you're gonna lift your heels even more, hips sit back towards heels, knees are hovering above the mat. You're really, really gonna be pressing into your hands for stability. And then one step at a time through this sequence, think about lifting your butt up towards the ceiling again. And then begin to shift forward as you round your upper back towards the ceiling, push the floor away. Once your shoulders move past your wrists just a little bit, start to drop your hips towards the floor. You can set your knees down here if you need to. You can make this more of a cobra pose. Keep your toes tucked under, press the floor away, look forward. And then think about tucking your chin, pulling your core in, Round your upper back up towards the ceiling again. Shift back towards down dog. Knees bend and we sink into active child's pose again. Let's do that a few more times. Start by lifting your butt up towards the ceiling. Start to round forward towards plank with kind of a cow spine, or a cat spine, I'm sorry. And then hips drop. And we look forward and roll the shoulders back. And then tuck your chin. Round your upper back again. Push through that plank variation back to down dog. Back to active child's pose. One more time. Hips up. Out towards plank. Into upward facing dog. And then chin tucks to start the spinal wave back. And all the way down towards child's pose with knees wide. Untuck your feet. Thread your left arm underneath. And rest to the left side of your face. And then from here, lift up enough that you can start to work your right arm across as well. So it's above my left arm. I'm going to scooch myself back and forth until I'm as far into this overlap as I can. And then I'm trying to hook my chin over my right shoulder and rest my forehead back down to the mat. And then you'll unravel this so that you can reach your left arm forward and rest onto the right side of your face. A little less intense. And then we'll lift up and work to thread left arm across. Turn your left palm to the ceiling. Rest your forehead to the mat if you can. Let's unravel the arms. Bring your knees together. Tuck your toes under, and you have a couple of options. You could lift up into a little supported squat, or you could lift up into toe stand with support from the hands. So toe stand with support from the hands would look like this. Or you could bring your hands to your thighs and work to balance on your feet as our most advanced option. And then from any of those poses, work to lift up into chair pose. Come back down to toe stand with or without support from the hands or a supported squat. And then back up into chair pose. Let's do that one more time. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk out to plank. From plank, lower all the way down to your stomach. Flip to the right side of your face. Bring both arms out to a T with your palms down. Step your left foot up and over towards your right hand. And then switch sides. Flip to the left side of your face. Right foot up and over towards left hand. And then come back through center. And from right here, you're looking down to your mat. Lift your arms, lift your legs. And then press back to down dog. Let's inhale, right leg up and open. And then step your right foot forward in between your hands. Lift up into crescent lunge, arms reach overhead. And then from here, snuggle your left elbow to the inside of your right elbow. You can hug your shoulders, that's going to be a little bit easier, or you can wrap into eagle arms. We'll inhale and lift the elbows away from the chest, lift the chest towards the ceiling. And then exhale, straighten the legs and fold forward over the right leg. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, floating pyramid. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, floating pyramid. Lower your back heel down. And you can work to bring your elbows towards the inside of your right leg or towards the outside of your right leg. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And then we'll unravel the arms and pivot into a wide leg fold. Drop your head towards the floor. Take a couple of breaths in a more simple version of the posture. And then find a halfway lift through the spine. Walk your hands towards your right foot. And walk your hands towards your left foot. Walk your hands back towards your right foot. All the way around to frame the foot as the toes pivot towards the top of the mat. Send your right foot back and lower through a vinyasa. From down dog, step your feet closer to each other and walk back into a squat or toe stand. Let's inhale into chair pose. And exhale, squat or toe stand. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And walk up to plank. Lower down to your stomach. Rest to the right side of your face. Reach your arms out with your palms down. Step your left foot up and over to your right hand. And then we'll move through center. And switch sides, flip to the left side of your face. And right foot over to left hand. And then back through center. Look down at the floor, lift your upper body, lift your arms, lift your legs. And then press back to downward facing dog. Left leg sweeps up and open. And left foot steps forward in between the hands. Up to crescent lunge. Reach your arms overhead for a moment. And then find right elbow on the inside of the left elbow. Hug your shoulders or wrap your arms. Inhale, elbows lift, upper back bends back. And then exhale, legs straighten and you hinge forward from your hips. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, shift back. Inhale, lunge. And exhale, shift back. Let's turn back, heel in and down. A couple of breaths in pyramid. You can bring your elbows towards the inside of your left leg or towards the outside if that feels good. We'll release hands down to the mat and pivot to a wide-legged fold. Let's walk hands over towards the left foot and over towards the right foot. And then over towards the left. Turn your toes towards the top of the mat. And send the left leg back to move through a vinyasa. Deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Let's lower knees down to the mat and find child's pose for a moment. And then sit up and bring your legs out in front of you. Plant your left foot in close, as close as you can, alongside the right thigh. And then from here, we'll take the left hand and we'll reach to the inside of the left knee for the outside of the right leg or the outside of the right foot. You could also use a strap around the foot if you wanted. And then depending on where you're holding on, you can either simply focus on folding forward, or if it feels good, you can work on reaching back with your right arm. And then from wherever you're at, you're going to bring your right hand back behind you. You might have to reposition your left foot slightly. You're going to press yourself up into wild thing. Let's sit down and pop right back in either to a fold or to a twist. Maybe you switch it up from round to round. And then lift up into wild thing again. One more time, down into a fold or a twist. And up into wild thing. Now from wild thing, it is going to take some reorienting on your mat, but come out of this like you would to go into a vinyasa. So back around into plank, and you'll take a vinyasa facing backwards on your mat. And then inhale your right leg up and back. Let's keep hips squared this time. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee, right upper arm. Inhale, up and back. And exhale, right knee over to left upper arm. Up and back. And then foot forward in between your hands. Stand up into crescent lunge. Reach your arms overhead. Relax into the posture. We're going to take 5 breaths here. And we'll bring hands down to frame the right foot and create full pyramid pose. And take 5 breaths in this posture as well. And we'll walk through a wide-legged fold. So hands come towards the inside of the right foot, all the way around to the top of the mat to frame your left foot. And you'll find standing splits with the right leg lifting up towards the ceiling. Think about rotating your inner right thigh towards the ceiling. Pull your right knee in towards your chest. Maybe bend your left knee a little bit more and stand all the way up. Right knee hugs in towards the chest. And then set your right foot to the outside of your left foot with your right leg crossed over. Use your hands as much or as little as you need to sit all the way down to a cross-legged seat. Let's fold forward from here and take a moment in this posture to slow and deepen the breath. And then sit up and extend your legs out in front of you. Gather your right leg in and plant your right foot. And then you'll fold forward and you can take a hold of your left foot or shin. You could use a strap. Maybe right hand to outside of left foot and left arm reaching back if that feels good. And then you'll plant your left hand behind you. Maybe right foot needs to reposition a little bit. We're going to push down into the ground to pick the hips up and reach the right arm over. And then you'll sit down and fold and lift up to Wild Thing. Sit down and fold. And Wild Thing. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and step my right foot over and come back towards plank on my mat, facing the back of my mat. and move through a vinyasa sequence. Let's send left leg up and back. And step your left foot forward in between your hands. Stand up to crescent lunge. Nope, go back to three-legged dog. I missed a step. Hug left knee to nose. And back to three-legged dog. Left knee, left upper arm. And back. Left knee, right upper arm. And back. And then step your foot forward. And take crescent lunge. 5 steady rounds of breath. And then pyramid pose for 5 rounds of breath. Let's bring hands to the inside of the left foot. Walk through a wide-legged forward fold shape to the top of the mat. Come to stand on your right foot and lift your left leg into standing splits. Pull your left knee into your chest, bend your right knee a little bit. Stand all the way up, keeping left thigh as close to your belly as you can. And then step your left foot down to the outside of your right foot. And come all the way down to a cross-legged seat. And once you're there, you'll fold forward again. Make your way down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest for a moment. And then plant your right foot, keep your left leg hugged in. Bring your arms out to the sides with your palms down. Push down into your right heel and lift your hips away from the floor. And then lower them down. Let's do this variation of bridge 4 more times. And then next time your hips are down on the ground, extend your left leg out so that it's straight. And guide your right knee across your body and find a spinal twist. And then come back through center. Let's try out this transition. You're going to keep your legs in this same general shape. You can use your hands for support. We're going to rock back, and then we're going to plant the right foot and the hands and try to kick the left leg through so that you end up in a lunge stance with your right foot planted. So we're getting there one way or another. And then we'll plant the left hand, and we'll reach the right arm up. And then stand up and around into warrior 2. Wrap your left elbow on top of your right, either eagle pose arms or hands to shoulders. And let's keep the arms in this position. They're not going to play as big of a role. Focus more on the movement of your spine as you inhale and lean back a little bit for reverse warrior. And then exhale and tip forward. You can play around with the rotation of this if you like. Inhale, lean back. It's going to feel quite different than the regular pose. And exhale, tip forward. Maybe bow forward a little bit if that feels good. Inhale, lean back. And exhale, bow forward. Bring your hands down to the mat. Pivot all the way around towards your left foot. Come into standing splits on your left foot. You can take another hold here, or you can take a few handstand hops in this posture if you like. Then we're going to take that same transition of right knee into chest, hug it in, stand all the way up. And then cross your right foot over your left and sit down to a cross-legged seat. Make your way onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. And then let's plant the legs. We're going to keep the left foot down. We're going to hug the right knee in. Arms out to the sides with palms down. Push into your left heel, lift your hips, but keep drawing right knee into chest. And then lower your hips down. Do this a couple more times. Extend your right leg to rest. Guide your left knee across. Spinal twist. And then come back through center. Keep your legs in this general shape. We're going to rock them in towards the upper body. And then you'll rock up, you'll plant your left foot in your hands and kick your right leg through. Let's plant the right hand and lift the left arm up. And then up and around into warrior two. The left leg is bent. Right elbow to inside of left elbow, arms wrap up or hug the shoulders. Inhale, reverse warrior. So all that really means in this context is just lean back a little bit. And then exhale, side angle. Lean forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. And exhale forward. Let's bring the hands down to the mat and walk through center. All the way to the top of the mat into standing splits on the right foot. And you can stay here for 5 breaths or take about 3 handstand hops. Hug your left knee into your chest and stand all the way up. And then step your left foot over your right and sit all the way down. And then uncross your feet, come onto your back, and hug both knees into your chest. From here, we're going to practice plow pose. If this pose doesn't feel great for you, you could just sit up and do a seated forward fold instead. Otherwise, think about using the upper body for plenty of support. We're gonna rock the hips up, and then legs reach overhead. You can use your hands to support. I like to walk my elbows in a little bit closer. And this pose still feels really good, I think, even if your feet don't touch down to the floor. That's not really a prerequisite. Make sure you can breathe wherever you're at. And that your neck feels relatively comfortable. Take one more breath. And then use your hands for as much support as you need. I like to reach back towards my ankles, unroll, come down, right into happy baby pose. Let's extend legs out for Shavasana. If you want to put on socks or a sweater first, you can. If you want to substitute some different pose than just lying on your back for resting here, that's also a great option. Try to create a setup where you feel as comfortable and relaxed as possible. See if closing your eyes is conducive to creating that environment. Let's see if we can just rest here quietly for about 3 minutes. I know that can be a challenge, especially without the structure of an actual yoga studio to be in. Let's start to bring some movement back to fingers and toes. And then interlace your fingers and press your palms away overhead. Point your toes. Try to stretch from your entire body. And then hug your knees into your chest. And rock over to your right side. Rest your head on your arm. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Come up to a cross-legged seat. And rest your hands on your knees. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And an open mouth exhale, side out. Breathe in. Side out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Bring your hands over your heart. Try to bring to mind something that you read recently or that someone said to you recently that you found personally meaningful or encouraging. I've found a lot recently that when people just kind of give general blanket statements of encouragement or advice, it inevitably ends up leaving out some people or really feeling sort of inappropriate for some people's situation. So just try to bring to mind something over the weekend or something today that helped you, that you can revisit, that you can just bring back up into your mind to help you remember it, to help you return to it when you're feeling unbalanced or ungrounded. I hope that this practice was helpful for you. Thank you so much for making time for it. It's going to be up on the channel, so you'll be able to revisit it if you like or share it with others. If you have any requests for future Monday night classes, let me know. I'm always interested in inspiration from people who are actually doing what I'm doing, so let me know. Have an excellent rest of your evening. Thanks, guys.